Are the new Intel 11 Gen CPUs good for creators who would like to build a new computer or upgrade the existing one? Well, probably not, because they are way too expensive, and actually there are better choices for AMD, and very soon you will see a lot better offering from Intel. The Intel i9-11900K does have faster individual cores than AMD's 5800X, but often AMD's 8-core offering outperforms Intel's if application benefits from huge cache that Ryzen CPU has. And most importantly, AMD will soon update their Zen 3 CPU lineup with new Zen 3 Plus CPUs with codename Warhol that will introduce a small IPC improvement and frequency uplift. So this will mean that even 8-core CPU variant like 6800X will have superior single-thread performance. Creative people who need an update for existing Intel workstation would benefit at least if they have only i7-10700K. But if you need to build a new computer on Intel platform, waiting for a monumentally new generation with DDR5 big and little CPU cores on a smaller process node would be a lot better. Intel will release Alder Lake 12th Gen CPU sometime in second half of 2021, and it will be on a completely new socket. So if you will buy now the Z590 motherboard, you will not be able to use it with the new next generation significantly better CPU that will require LGA 700 socket. For the first time in a while, the mainstream Intel desktop CPU will change its shape and socket will get bigger. To be honest, this 11 Gen Intel CPU is more of a stopgap till Alder Lake will come. Of course, there are some use cases and more specific applications which will work better with Intel CPUs even now. But a lot of productivity tasks lay heavily on multi-core performance. So if you currently have 10900K, you could see a significant performance regress in tasks like video editing, photo editing, software development, and virtualization, and 3D graphics, and even music mixing with large projects. The only true success for Intel was that they successfully backported their new core architecture. And in future they will have core designs that will be even more flexible and even work in TSMC's nodes. So if their own node is not ready, they can simply use another silicon manufacturer and stay competitive. So in this new CPU lineup, there are 10 top SKUs that Intel are releasing, and all of them have 8 cores with hyper-threading. The main difference being core frequencies and integrated graphics. The die size of these CPUs is significantly larger than in previous generations. So here we can see the trend reversing and Intel trying to give more to customers every generation as competition is heating up. And that is why this CPU generation will actually be short-lived, and the real game changer is coming soon. One more interesting feature is Intel's adaptive boost technology that to a certain extent can replace modest overclocking to 11th gen CPUs because they can opportunistically boost similarly how AMD CPUs can now. So if you can lower the temperatures, these CPUs will try to boost themselves up a bit. But this feature is by default turned off, and unfortunately it is not available in lower end CPUs. But in general, from what I have seen, tech enthusiasts have been able to overclock Intel's new CPUs till point where it outperforms slightly its 8-core overclocked competitor in creativity applications like Adobe Premiere. But in my opinion, it's not worth it. So stay tuned for upcoming analysis of next generation Intel's architecture, which will be a lot more interesting with these big, powerful cores and these smaller background task cores, and that will be a lot more interesting to take apart. So thank you for watching. Until next time.